Another rehearsal.
Rolling, rolling.
Background, action!
The purpose of the DGA training program is to train you to be an assistant director.
Upon graduation from the DGA training program, you get the opportunity to become an assistant director and work on feature films, TV, and television commercials.
It gives you a closer window to what an AD really does.
The first AD is responsible for scheduling the movie and then seeing the schedule through.
Being an AD, you're kind of like the captain of the ship. You have to have everybody on the same page.
I mean, they're the right hand to the director. They run the set, to be honest.
How did the fantasy dancers do?
You cannot be a first AD if you don't have a good team.
So you have your key second, your second.
The second AD is in charge of creating a daily schedule based on the main schedule that the first AD has done.
Your key second is your planner.
He's always thinking ahead as opposed to what's happening on set at that current moment.
I would be thinking about the next shot, the next scene, the next day.
The second is in charge of background. So on our set, what Marcos does is if any scene needs any extras around the place, he'll place them.
Your second is really your on-the-ground person that is a very reactive position that is dealing with things right in the moment, right on the day.
People apply from all over the country, from all walks of life.
I think the people who are drawn to this industry are, I think they're very interested in the energy and the pace and the product that they're creating.
Well, before I got in the training program, I was a stage manager in theatre. Before that, I ran a business, and before that, I worked in medical research.
I was a locations PA, so I was doing something a little bit different than this, but similar. I was working on set.
And I was shooting video work just to kind of make cash on the side, but outside of that, I had zero on-set experience.
I was an associate producer at the Learning Channel on a show called A Baby Story.
So I was at film school in Montana, and I knew that I wanted to be an AD, but I wasn't sure how to go about it. A professor of mine told me about the training program, and I knew it was right for me, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
From the test to the first interview was about a 6-week wait. Very intense 6 weeks. You're waiting at the mailbox, waiting to see if that letter came or not. After the first interview, you wait another 6 weeks for the final interview.
There's a lottery. Everyone gets a number, and that assigns when you're going to start your next assignment. And it's total luck of the draw which assignment is going to come first or whatever. You just know that you'll be the next guy to go.
I'm almost the first one on set generally with the actors and the first team PA.
I get here on set, and right away there's some distro that I get usually at the production office the night before that people want first thing in the morning.
Then I distribute the prelim, which is just to give everybody an idea that this may be the call time for the next day, and it may or may not change by the end of the day, depending on how far we go.
And then once we start rolling on set, and everybody's kind of calmed down at that point, then I start walking around and getting manpower for the next day.
It's my responsibility throughout the day to call the production office and let them know that, they're setting up the scene, and this is when we had the first shot of the day, this is when we wrapped this certain scene, and we're moving on to this other scene.
And then lunch, which is the best time of the day.
I have to guard all the plates until we break for lunch, and then having to count the line and deal with last man when you have people yelling at you and being like, oh, that person, and they're on a different break schedule. Yeah, I dread it every day.
I've been doing background, so I've just been learning how to set, learning how to do the vouchers, rules, the adjustments, how to handle them, how to handle the different personalities that come there.
And then at the end of the day, we go ahead and run the actual call sheet and then distribute that. And that's when my actual bulk of the work just slams.
After wrap, I go collect everything I need during the day. I get the camera reports, sound reports, the background breakdown.
Every in, lunchtime, all the meal penalties are accounted for. Any little tidbit that could have been, that would affect production or anything, today we had an injury.
Anything like that goes on the PR, finish that up, turn everything in, collect any distro, and then finally I get to go home.
The longest day I ever worked was probably close to 20 hours.
You have 18 hours. You can finish everything. You'd be surprised. You start and finish your day on your feet.
I've been getting my 5 hours of sleep at least, so I've been doing all right. Full 5. Oh yeah, I'm spoiled. I'm telling you.
I got 3 hours last night. I'll probably get like 4 tonight.
The office basically came in the next day and saw me finishing the PR that morning.
I feel like as you get better as a trainee, the hours dwindle because you become more efficient. And as you become more efficient, you get out of the office sooner and you do your tasks quicker and you can have more of a life at home.
Someone told me when I was a trainee, there's 3 things you can do at the weekend. One is have a social life, see your friends. Another one is you can be domestic and clean your apartment. And the third one is sleep. And you can do any 2 of those things, but you can't do all 3.
I look for somebody who does, who pays attention, who's listening on the walkie.
You know, it's crazy when you're on set. You've got 12 different things going on while there's a walkie in this ear, a cell phone in that ear, and you're working on paperwork during a lockup.
You have to be able to multitask. You have to be able to listen with this ear and with this in your ear.
Sorry, I got the walk in my ear at the same time. What was the question again?
Organization, ability to multitask, thick skin.
What's really important is enthusiasm, energy, energy. Just a sense that they will be alive, they will be open to new ideas.
One of the things that the trainee program does is they teach you how to network. They're introducing you to previous ADs, previous trainees. They're introducing you to different companies in the city, and I think that's a really good thing.
And networking, what brings you in the end is jobs, which obviously after you finish the training program, that's what you want. You want to be called back.
I always tried to think like the person I was directly reporting to. So when I was a trainee, I tried to think like the second AD.
Always be thinking about what's coming ahead and really look, if you're just standing there, what is it that I can be doing to make this, to facilitate the shoot?
You can't behave like Lady Bountiful when you've got a big paycheck coming in and then behave like the world's worst pauper when you go on unemployment. You need to maintain a constant standard of living throughout.
If it's raining, wear a raincoat.
I would have told my younger self not to take it all too seriously.
Take every day as it comes. You can't expect every day to be wonderful.
Relax. It's fine. It'll be fine, and it usually always is.
It's a total life adjustment, but it is the most rewarding job. There are things you see as a trainee that you will never see doing anything else.
I would say Michael Jordan was the coolest person I ever worked with.
Working with Harrison Ford, Diane Keaton, directing them on the side, just because the director said, you know ballet, go ahead and teach Diane Keaton ballet.
He was so big that even sitting down, his knees on a chair were about, I'm not very tall, we're about as tall as I am.
You get to be in a lot of places that you never thought you would be. I've jumped out of an airplane.
I guess I've been to the top of the Empire State Building, not to the observation deck, but to the antenna.
An amazing beach house in Southampton.
In Venezuela, in the jungle, in Angel Falls. I've been outside the White House, I've been in Gracie Mansion, I've been in the mayor's office at City Hall.
But one of the most beautiful was shooting in the desert in Oregon for a few months.
I couldn't imagine my life any different from what it is now. The training program opened so many doors for me.
I feel like the trainee program kind of was my college education.
The DGA training program gave me an entire career.
Sometimes you've got to say to yourself, like, this is the coolest career because like nobody else gets to kind of experience these places.
I mean, what a great experience.
This is what I'm doing for a living. How cool is this?
There's a reason why there's so many names at the end of a movie. And you get to learn that day by day when you're on set.